You
And
know
good
when it's live. Hang on.
morning. Good morning or good afternoon or good day wherever you are. This is Bobby Joe Mackles here in Alabama, USA. And my good friend across the pond, Sheena Kantar, over in Cheshire? Cheshire.
Cheshire or Chester.
Cheshire, England. And we are helping you here to navigate to have your best life, right? Because motivation is short lived and it's more about the consistency of your mind that will have anything that can have anything happen in your life, right? This is about you and not about getting. This is but rather helping you be in the vibrational alignment of what you want. And what does that all mean? We're going to have Sheena explain.
Well, I love listening to Neville Goddard, and I go in and out and in and out. And it's funny how you hear things like 6 years ago, and you go, "Yeah, I know that, I know that," but then you read it
Mhm.
again, and now you go, "Oh my goodness, why didn't I get that?" So one of the things was about the Bible is basically that's why it's called scripture, because it's your script. Basically, it's like
Oh,
it's a psychological drama, and that's what we're going through. And you'll notice, like even the crucifixion, I don't know how many times we've crucified ourselves alone at night when we're worried, when we're in doubt, when we're in fear. That's basically you crucifying yourself, you know. So it's time to stop all that nonsense. And I love what he called about the 12 disciples, or actually the 12 disciplines. Now, Bobbi Joe is in Unity, the Unity Church, and she was talking about the 5 principles there, and it's very much in alignment. And just like thinking into results, it's all in alignment with what we're doing. So here's the first one. We can go through these quite quickly because we've only got 10, 15 minutes tops. So the first one is, I only hear what is in alignment with what I want.
hmm. That's true because you're only selective hearing. Let's go touch on a little bit, and then I'll just give a sentence or two to that. To means that it's only selective hearing that you're in vibration of what you want to hear, and we do know that because we hear something different 2 or 10 years later. It's because we are different. We're ready to listen with 2 ears.
Absolutely. The next one is about faith. But when you have faith, this is not faith born of, like blind faith. This is faith born of knowledge. But when
Mm,
you have faith, you will be asked to display courage.
we know that firsthand.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just that, you're asked to demonstrate it. Okay, well, demonstrate your faith. And that means no fear, doubt, or worry.
Yes,
That's the
demonstrate your
demonstration of
faith. I
faith.
love that. Demonstrate your faith. No, yeah.
Yeah. The next one was actually 2 disciples in one, and it was about that one was about all being God, and that the beloved, and so it was really understanding that you all is love. It sort of like circles back around that all is God and all is love, and when we look at the map of consciousness by David Hawkins, which we'll go into another time,
Mm,
it's love is a way up there, and fear, doubt, and worry is a way down here.
yeah.
So I don't know what you've got to say about that.
No, it is. And, we've been talking about this for 4 years, studying ourselves and mindset coaching. And, we heard Bob Proctor say this, it's vibrational. It's vibrational. We're like, okay, we got it physically. It's vibrational. But it's like, now we're really, oh, I get it. Yeah, you're right. So it's like we were trying to force it before, but now it's like just getting it. It's really interesting. And what do we mean by that? It's like, being in vibration of who you really are without the judgment and the guilt. There's so many other we talked about this yesterday, but the underlying currents that are still there. Like you could say, I am prosperity, but underneath you're looking at every tag and you're going, oh my God, and you're looking through the sale. What can I get cantaloupes on sale this week or something? And so that's an underlying, current of shame or guilt, or I don't have enough money, even though you're trying to override it, you're putting a band-aid on it, like, no, I am. So, but yeah, what are you feeling truthfully? And you can't lie to yourself, people.
I mean, you can, but you can't lie to the bloody universe. It's picking up everything anyway, isn't it?
It
And I love
is.
this one, the fifth disciple, and it was, what is in my consciousness will be expressed.
Hmm.
And it's taken me, I would say it's probably taken me a good 4 years to actually really believe that basically Father in heaven will be expressed on earth, what will be from here to here. And so it's like the Father is the consciousness, and whatever is going on and whatever's playing here, you're just getting that right back. Like,
Yep.
finally, get the
Hmm.
idea.
Yeah, and again, I feel like that's vibrational. You get what you're thinking, and then it's like, see, I told you, I always have bad luck, or I always get the flat tire. Well, that's because vibrationally you have that belief. And so you're always going to attract it until you can stop, paper to pen, get the clarity and you can say all you want. I believe that. Oh, I believe I want good luck happen to me. But you have to look at it. You have to discover it. But sometimes you don't know why it's even there. And this is something getting ready for my workshop tomorrow. You could have came home at 5 years old and heard your dad get off the phone with somebody and say something like, oh, maybe whatever. He's talking to his brother who's going through a divorce, and you hear him go, God, never get married. It's a pain in the ass. And you heard this as a little person. He didn't know, and you have that. You don't have to recall it, but it was a seed that was dropped, and ever since then. So it's about you going, what do I really believe about love? What do I really believe about money? What do I really believe about whatever, my health? You have to really know you and don't put it on the facade, because like she said, the universe, our really true super conscious self knows the reality.
And this is just funny to bring up things about children. I heard 2 conversations yesterday in the supermarket. And the first one was this mother walking out, and her daughter just got in the way of an older person, but she didn't make her fall over or anything. She wasn't in the way. It was just they came around the corner and they both met. And so she shouted at her daughter. Now, this woman was a big, massive woman. She was in the way, but never mind. She blamed her daughter. And so she put that blame on her daughter, and she shouted out. She went, "You are so rude. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Whatever." And she shouted again at her daughter. And her daughter went, "I am not rude." But she carried on and carried on. And I just thought, oh, blame, way down in the consciousness scale. A humiliation, rock bottom. So the next one was when I got in, and I heard this mother shouting at her daughter, just going, "Well, that's okay. I'll just burn all the money, shall I? I may as well just take it and just burn it." And I was like, oh, please stop speaking to your children like this. I'm like, but anyway, it is what it is. And that's where,
It's not anyways. Maybe we just go over 6 of these today and not rush through them, because people really need to hear this message that, you saying these things to your kids, it's setting up a cultural, a family paradigm. A paradigm is a habit, a belief, a behavior that we carry. And it's like one of my favorite words. Whenever, you studied it for 4 years, and it's like, it's still just such a powerful word. I didn't get it 3 years ago like I do today. But people, when you're implanting, think about what you're saying repetitively to your children, because they are the future. And so when you're saying these things to them, why are you saying it? Just have the awareness of what is even coming out of your mouth. People don't. You're not. You're just a diarrhea of the mouth here, people. What are you saying? So are you creating, or are you disintegrating with your words? Are you making your children rise? Are you taking them down? And then you look at yourself. Why would you do that to your own children that you love? Because there's probably a worthiness still with there. And that's the way I was treated, and I turned out fine. Really? Did you?
I think our parents thought that they were doing the best job.
Yes,
there's no doubt about it, that my mum loved me, and she thought, because that's how she was brought up, then this is the way we were to be brought up, with criticism and guilt and shame. And in the Catholic religion, which is always the big joke, the Catholic guilt. Well, it's not a freaking joke anymore. Not when I've seen exactly, what it really means for people in their life, and where we're bringing children up on a scale of like the lowest consciousness ever to shame and guilt, people into doing something. So I think you're right. We can go through all these 6 ones again, just because it really, really is important. So like, I only hear what is in alignment with what I want. So if you're hearing what you don't want, you've got to ask yourself, well, what am I thinking about all the time? We're making up conversations, aren't we? We're having conversations with our boss before we go even into work, about like, well, Betty's going to be like this, and Betty's going to, and she's always a pain in the ass. And then they are. Like Connor's, my son, he's working somewhere, and he's the manager there, and he's always told beforehand that this person's a pain in the ass, this person's this person's lazy. And I says, well, you do know not to judge people before you see them. You can only just like be on your experience with them. You treat them completely neutral, let them, show themselves to you. And he says he's never found one word to be true so far.
Yeah.
Whereas
it's someone else's perception. It's someone else's perception. And when we talk about this, when you make others rise, if you go into a situation and Mr. Crappy Pants over there said he's a bad guy, well, look at Mr. Crappy Pants. Look in the mirror. I did this once. I don't know if I should admit it to people. We are live. I have stepdaughters, 3 of them. And I was this whitewater rafting guide, and I found the love of my life and moved in with him. And all of a sudden I have 3 stepdaughters coming over the house, and whew, I won't even say anything, but it was challenging. And I remember having a mirror one day, and I said to one of them, I held up the mirror right in front of her face. I go, see, whatever you put out, it's coming back at you. She's like, well, because she was just always negative to me and mean to me. She's just a hurt child, hurt people. But me, I was very reactive in those days, being a badass RAF guy coming in like, who's going to talk to me like that, So I had a lot to learn, people. So this is about it's not about my stepdaughter. It's like about me learning about myself. And so I held that mirror up, because and it's true. If somebody at school is really mean to you, you're going to share your candy with them? No. So when you come into my house and you're constantly mean to me, does it make me want to be nice to you? No. And I held up this mirror. What you're putting out is right back at you, girl. You're creating your circumstances. And so take note to that, people. What are you thinking about, right? That's what we do here. We're mindset coaches. When you get up in the morning to the time you get to work, you're reacting. Oh, it's raining out. You got to wear this. Oh my God, the kids aren't even up yet. Reacting to that. Oh, I forgot to do lunches last night. You're constantly just reacting to life instead of taking the moment, dropping into the present, finding the breath. There's nothing more to it, right? The past and the future, right? I can never make it out of this house today. We don't know that for a fact. I could drop dead right here. So with all that, stop reacting, take a breath and create your life. Start to see it. The children make their own lunches. They get up on time, right? You're the one creating the situation. So be smart about it. Use your mind. This is creative. We only use I heard yesterday. We only use that. I sent you that podcast, but it's like 20% of our power. I don't even think we use that.
I don't even think we're using anywhere near that. Oh my God. And that's just what you're saying there is to recognize that this takes, your faith and your courage to walk forward. But, for me, I had to know, to really understand that, like, there's the disciple number 5 is that, what is in my consciousness is going to be expressed. And I don't think I truly believed it. I heard it, I read it, I studied it, I coached it. But I also recognized that as a coach, I was actually only ever coaching me. I used to recognize that, I would be like doing my coaching sessions and I'm going, hey, this is all about me. This is nothing about you at all. Like, this is all about me. Bob used to say that. He'd go, sure, I'm only ever talking to myself anyway. So,
Yeah.
And it's to remind ourselves, and thank goodness I'm a coach, because it is that constant reminder, thank goodness, that we've got to literally help us with all this, that, if you're saying, all is love and all is God, but then you're running around in worry, doubt and fear, God's breathing you now. Life is breathing you now. Like it's taking care of all your immune system and if you just had lunch, well, it's digesting it. Are you digesting it? So why don't we think that we're going to be looked after? So I guess there's some really, really powerful ones. We only actually got as far as number 5. So we'll do some more of those tomorrow because they're brilliant just to keep reminding. You'll see them all in the list down there. So have a look at them and, I don't know if you've got anything else to say. I think we more or less said everything.
Yeah, that is it. Just keep on coming back, keep on listening. And in a year, I promise, your life will shift just hearing a little bit of nuggets every day, So, and that's it. That's why I want to keep it under 15 minutes. I know for me, someone sent me a podcast and it's like an hour and a half long. I got through maybe 12, 15 minutes of it when I was driving in the car and got to a place. I have a little dog who has a ghost attached to it. And so anyway, she just came running in the room scared. So anyways, that's all I got for you today. Be you, be kind to you, love you. That's what it's about, because it starts with ourselves and then it trickles out to everyone else. And that's the love there. When you have nothing, if you're just full of love, you aren't competing, you aren't judging, just be awesome you.
And it's goodbye from me. Have a good day. Remember to leave us anything. If you want us to talk about anything, leave us some comments down there and we'll see you next time.
Love to hear from you.